Got the lowrider here, gang. Don't worry. I haven't shrunk. What about the 70s photo? Pretty hot, huh?
It's a hit. It's blowing up on Twitter right now. Let me get the
what are they saying?
statistics on it.
In case you missed it from earlier in the show, I went to a 70s party this weekend, and I just proved that, sexiness cannot be defined by any one decade.
If you follow myself or 1010XL on Twitter, you saw the photo.
It's very Sex Panther, isn't it?
That's Jeff in his 70s garb at the 70s party.
I made him blue dot my daughter so you guys couldn't,
Court TV'd that thing.
You'd all fall in love with her. So,
we're up to 39 likes and
how
1
many
retweet.
dislikes?
They don't do dislikes on
Well, they should. They need to
some
do
of the
dislikes.
feedback, somebody asked what's different. Someone else said, "Is
the clothes? What do you
is
mean?
your brothel on Phillips Highway still in good money?"
Right, that's good.
Someone said they thought that was Chad Henne for a moment.
Okay. These
aren't
exactly compliments you're reading
come
me.
see how good I look.
I know. I told Mrs. P that if we go to another one of these things, we will think it out and we will go with Burgundy and Veronica Corningstone. But I thought I was more Brian Fantana.
One Guggen says Jeff looks like a version of Scarface that decided against a life of murder and drug lordship and went instead with a low-profile career of strip club recruitment.
I could do that there too. I get it. I'm not saying there's not a little bit of
Boss Hogg's right-hand man,
gangster in there. That's for sure. I thought it also had the look of a magician. I may be a magician.
The ring, the vest, the stash really nailed the 70s look.
Right?
So
that's what we're trying to do. Nail the 70s. I'm not trying to win a costume.
You crushed it, man. You brought it home.
We got that all at the what you call those things? The thrift shops for $12, which was about $10 too much.
Popping tags.
I also got a beautiful pair of those shiny shoes that you only wear to weddings.
Yes.
I got a pair of those too.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you hit the thrift shop hard, man.
Well, Mrs. P did. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
She
went and did the whole thing. I just were the shiny shoes ever a thing though? Like she thought shiny shoes. Oh, these are 70 shoes. I said no, these are for weddings. Is what these are for. And only shoes. Proms.
Right, formal shoes.
So, Googans, any of you out there size 10.5, you need some of those shiny black shoes. I've got them. Yeah, very high gloss.
For your next formal occasion, if you are attending the Oscars and you need a pair of shoes in a pinch, Jeff's got you.
Although if you're attending the Oscars, I'm not going to let you have them. I have lost respect for you if that's the case.
We are now, Jeff, less than 2 hours away from the legal tampering window opening. So, I think most Googans still feel like all signs point towards Nick Foles, but there's a lot of rumors and posturing going on right now between the Teddy Bridgewater story and now what appears to be a Ryan Tannehill story that has surfaced as well. So there seems to be at least some question marks, some eyebrow raising.
I just, I did ask Dan this, and I think this is a fair question, and I don't know if this is how you gauge either how good you think a player is or how much you really want him, but I thought about it in these terms. Ask yourself this as a Jaguar fan. Would you be devastated if the Jaguars didn't get Nick Foles?
No.
I don't know. Is that an indication of anything? Does that, I'm beating around it here. I don't mean to. I don't know exactly how to classify this, but I guess what I'm saying is if you're not devastated and not getting someone, how much do you really want them to begin with? Point being, if we found out this time next week that the Jaguars, instead of Nick Foles and drafting, an old lineman, instead they signed Teddy Bridgewater, and they're going to move up, and they've traded their pick and their third rounder to move up to number 1 or number 2 or whatever.
Right.
Wouldn't you be just as excited? Would you be just as excited with Bridgewater and Haskins as you're going to be with Foles?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, if they get Foles, great. If they don't, then let's hope they're right on the other plan.
Yeah, and I guess it goes to what you guys were talking about there at the end. Does your excitement level or appeal of a Foles deal change depending on the dollar figure and its implications on the salary cap?
Well, again, you can say the salary cap doesn't matter, but it does. If you can get, Teddy Bridgewater for $10 million and it's going to cost you $20 million to get Nick Foles, I think that's $10 million you could be using on another player or position. And again, I don't know if it's Bridgewater. It could be Bridgewater, it could be Tannehill, it could be Tyrod Taylor. Right. It could be a number of guys that are going to cost you, although Tannehill is coming off like a Bortles type deal. I don't know if he's going to want to go somewhere for $10 million, but he might be willing to. Yeah. Listen, these guys.
He might be in the same boat as Bortles, where they're just looking for.
Bortles and Tannehill have already made more money than they'll ever spend. Right. So, I don't know if it's Bridgewater per se. I'm not anti Teddy Bridgewater. There sure are a lot of guys that like Teddy Bridgewater.
It's weird. There's a lot of guys who like both those guys, and just as many who don't like either one. I'm talking Foles and Bridgewater.
Yeah.
There seems to be just as loud groups on both sides with both those guys. I get the concern with Bridgewater because of the knee. You worry about durability, especially behind a line that, let's face it, was not very good last year. So, if you're concerned about an already injured quarterback playing behind a line that didn't do their quarterback a lot of favors last year, I'm sure that would be a question mark for you as a fan when the rumors pop up that Teddy Bridgewater would at least be under consideration.
I think overall today, kind of the theme of today from the get-go is what a big week and couple of weeks we have coming up here on the sports scene. The players, our coverage starts tomorrow, but the golf tournament will start on Thursday. NFL free agency starts on Wednesday. Conference basketball tournaments, where there's still a lot at stake, especially for Florida, start.
Bless you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Conference basketball tournaments start on Thursday for Florida, who they almost have to have a win, you would think. And
it's kind of nice if you're
Selection Sunday on Sunday.
If you're
Sunday.
a casual college basketball fan, you don't have a really aggressive rooting interest in Florida State, or just out of curiosity, Thursday's a good day because I think the way the games are scheduled, you can watch both. I don't think they overlap at all. I think Florida plays later in the day and Florida State plays in the afternoon. I don't think there's a big overlap with those two games where you could watch both.
FSU, what are they're going to be between a 3 and a 5, and it ain't going to matter much what they do.
Yeah, it's not nearly as much.
I guess FSU could run and beat Duke and North Carolina and win the ACC and maybe get to a 2, maybe, but that might be tough to get that high. Florida though does have to win.
Noon. That's right.
Florida does have to win on Thursday, though. There's you can't lose your last. As nice as the win streak was, the 5-game win streak, including the win at LSU, as nice as it was, if you lose your last 4, including losses to Georgia and Arkansas, then you've given it all away, and you deserve to be in the NIT. So
that's fair.
Mike White, after an NIT berth his first year, has been to the NCAA tournament in back-to-back years. I think it's important to keep those streaks going, and I think it's important to stay off of FBI wiretaps. That's all you got to do right now in college basketball, because that has changed since we were sitting here on Friday, where that idiot Will Wade of LSU, it didn't matter. They got we were right. He wasn't the coach of LSU on Monday. They suspended him on Saturday, set the player Javonte Smart on Saturday night, and it's an ugly deal. So.
And what is this?
I don't. He's jealous, I guess. If the guy wanted to do it, I could be. I could be on my road already.
Yeah.
And Dan Higgins keeps popping in here. He can't stand the fact that we right now are Facebook stars, and he's just wandering around in no man's land, waiting to do a podcast.
It's funny. Josh brings up a point that I think you sort of stated the opposite of in the 6 o'clock hour today. He says the bracket not good for the Gators, and I think you felt like with. The prospect of playing LSU.
Well, he said it's laid out good.
Oh, I thought he said not good.
No, he said laid out good.
Oh, well, okay, I guess.
Trust me.
Oh, laid out good. Okay, I can't read.
Yeah, so it would be along with me. LSU is a team they've proven they can play with. In fact,
and
I wouldn't be surprised with LSU with the troubles and the turmoil, and that'll be their first real game since it all happened. They had a home game on Saturday against Vandy, who did go 0-18.
That's just gross.
So
yes, one good pointed out. Florida plays at noon. I believe Florida State plays at 2:30. So
perfect.
You can watch them both. And
who does FSU play in their first?
FSU will have whoever comes out of. They've got the double bye. So Miami and Wake play each other, and then the winner of that gets Va Tech, and then the winner of that gets Florida State.
Most likely Va Tech.
So most likely Va Tech is the 5 seed, I think.
They had a heavyweight fight with last Sunday.
So, Florida State at least, I guess you're rooting for Wake and Miami to pull an upset there, if you're a Florida State fan.
Yeah, I don't know if it matters.
FSU's going to be. Like you said, I don't think a lot can change for FSU.
FSU kind of sleptwalked through about 3/4 of that game at Wake this weekend, but they've got a big talent advantage in that one, so they pulled it out. So we'll see. Yeah, it's an interesting week for college basketball.
We'll keep watching the legal tampering period. We'll see if anything matriculates between now and when we join you tomorrow at 6 live at Sawgrass. We'll be from the beautiful the tents adjacent to the media center tomorrow and Wednesday. We'll have our first timers day, I think Wednesday when we check in with all the first timers. So we're looking forward to it. Being out of TPC, we'll be all over the map.
Got here quick.
Players, it snuck right up on us. Forecast looks great. nice warm days Thursday, Friday, and cool temps. Maybe some rain on the weekend. So hopefully not enough to push us into a Monday finish. But
it's got his AMS seal, ladies
I've
and
been paying
gentlemen.
attention because I'm trying to go out in the weekend, and I like it when it's a little cooler.
Yeah, I'm out there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's good for me.
Yeah.
I like watching golf tournaments from the best seat in the house. That's front row of HD Stadium, where you can see where everything happening.
My guy, the petite.
I usually end up back out there on Sunday.
My guy, the petite, wants to get out there.
I'm tired.
He likes two things. He likes a big ass cup of lemonade, and he wants to try and get a high five from his guy Brooks.
I wonder if Brooks is also starting to feel the relationship with him as petite
growing.
does. Yeah,
like you and Kevin Favor. It's growing.
Captain Kev, I'm trying desperately.
We planted the seeds.
Yeah, become good friends with him.
Just try.
I'd like to hang out with him.
Maybe have petite one day be like a.
I'm a little depressed now as this ends and I lean close and I get a good look at just how haggard and tired
Again,
I
this
look.
is the time the time change.
Do I look tired?
Yeah, we all do. It's killed us all.
Huh?
I mean, I found
Stephanie
myself.
says I look fabulous, but thank you, Stephanie. You're just being nice. I think I look.
Well, that's Steven.
Oh.
Oh no.
Well, that's even better. Thank you, Steven. You too. I mean, hey, I'll take it from anywhere I can.
Hey, kudos to your parents for spelling your name right, Steven.
Thanks feel, again.
Yeah. All right, good.
We'll
see you live for TPC tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll
Peace.
be taken. Heck of the rest of the week. This is BS.